is it that time? It is to do the predictions. We're looking ahead to the 6 games in Super League. Excitingly, we've already been told that to not Warrington, that's from Carl, and obviously the Salford fans don't want us to tip them. So find out as we go through the predictions. Excuse me, and we start on Thursday. As Hull FC have to back up the disappointment of losing in the Championship semi-final. All their eggs are in a basket marked Old Trafford, and they take on the Wigan Warriors, who are signing all these people. Gary Schofield.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the reaction, isn't it, Radisson? As he's mentioned, the players shouldn't need any motivation because there's only one pot left, and that's the Old Trafford Grand Final, which has never won from there. But Wigan, with that week off from there, the way they're going, the big players are playing well, and certainly the way that Liam Fowler's played from there, he's certainly back to his best. So this is testing time for the Black and Whites, very, very testing, and I just feel as though with disappointment, Wigan with that week off, in good form, they want to cement the top 5 spot. I'm going Warriors 10.
I think it's just a really tough ask for Hull to have to back up after a defeat of a semi-final, even if it were a victory of a semi-final, to play on the Thursday. I think that's terrible scheduling. I know that we're beholden to the money of the television company, but that's just ridiculous. Now that'll either galvanise Hull to get the semi-final out of their system, or it'll just be a step too far. I think there's a feel-good factor again around Wigan, and it's not just that they're winning games; it's the fact that they're signing players. I just can't see Wigan losing this one with the way they took Wakefield apart in the first half. We've praised their defence enough this year, but their attack looked back on top. So I am going to have to go with Wigan by 10.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think there's a bit of confidence there back in Wigan. They're playing well. Obviously, George Williams' move announced. He wants to finish on a high. I think they'll win by 12.
We'll go with a full house then of Wigan victories in this game. Although I did say Hull might throw one in last week against Warrington. They didn't, obviously. They played well and just came up short against Warrington. Or should I go with Hull? No, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with Hull. I'm going to have the thing going up and down. Hull to win by 2, and all those players who perhaps didn't turn up on Saturday to turn up this time. Yeah, Hull by 2. Right, Friday. It is the big one. We're all looking forward to this one. It's the Battle of West Yorkshire, the Battle of the Cowbells. Come on, Leeds, shut them up. Huddersfield Giants. Oh no, I don't like Leeds. Hang on. Huddersfield Giants versus Leeds Rhinos. The Gary Schofield derby. Gary Schofield.
Well, the Giants, after the last performance, great confidence boost, wasn't it? And Leeds against the Black and Whites. Boy, oh boy, how do I call this? How do I call this? Do I give my beloved Leeds another opportunity to get the 2 points? And the Giants, I think they'll realise if they win this one, then the relegation is maybe safe, and brilliant confidence after that surprising win at Hull KR, after Hull KR beat Leeds a week before from there, and I just think they'll just keep that going. The Giants team, to be honest with you, I just think they might have too much for us, and I want the response. From the whole performance. We've got ourselves back in there, but the experienced players are just not doing it, and we're not playing for long minutes quality rugby league at this moment in time. And I just think the confidence over there with the Giants. I'm going the Giants by 7.
I think you're right. If Huddersfield win their set, I think they get to that 20-point mark, and because everybody below them will be playing each other, they can start to breathe a little bit easier. He's playing at the moment to stick by him for at least one more week, so I'm going Leeds by 6. I know. Nobody believes a single word I say. And nor should they.
Yeah, this is just such a 50-50 game. I mean, both teams are horribly inconsistent. I don't know what the injury list is looking at, who's in and out. We'll get to flip a coin and say Leeds by 6, but yeah, it quite easily could be Huddersfield. Yeah.
The great thing is, I've just noticed every time Square looks down his paper, there's the ball covers his face up. You can't see him on YouTube.
Oh, sorry, thank God.
So all the people on Facebook, they should have thinking, I should have watched on bloody YouTube. I don't know where to go on this one. The best question that was asked at the press conference after the Women's Challenge Cup final was it Pete Smith asking Cuthbert if he wanted the job?
Mm-hmm. He wanted the men's job.
Right, coach.
Cuthbert. Yeah, why not? So, Cuthbert, maybe. I shouldn't be saying anything like I'm mates with these people, I don't know. 10 journalists. I wanted to go for Leeds, but I don't know. I want to go for Huddersfield instead. I'm trying to work out from a perspective as a Wakefield supporter which result's better here. Would you rather have a team pull away from it and another team stay in it, or have the other team drag everyone back into it? I think it's better if Huddersfield win, but for some reason I think Leeds will win. And again, I don't know why am I going for Leeds. I've seen this story. I keep picking them. Why? Leeds by 2. I don't know what.
Have you been on sauce this afternoon, Sean?
No, I've had a long day.
Have you been on sauce?
I think the truth is none of us really know.
No, exactly. No,
However,
this is top to turvy game, isn't it? You know.
However, we all know which way this one's going to go. St Helens, who I think will clinch the league leadership this week as they take on the hapless Wakefield Trinity.
Yep, they will wrap it up, Saints, without a doubt. Wakefield, well, they've been making all the noises. The lads are just coming back from the holidays. I'm hoping they've got the factor 6 off, you know, because one thing for sure, St Helens will be ripping in. Yeah, they've achieved one thing so far. They've got to the Challenge Cup final. They want to wrap up the league leaders' shield this Friday night. If it's a team where Wakefield didn't want to go, we certainly will be St Helens. Wakefield at this moment in time are a mess. They are a mess, and they cannot go to St Helens. They cannot go to St Helens on Friday and win the way they are playing. I think Saints will win this quite easy. I'm going to St Helens by 28.
I think there could have been a hangover for getting to Wembley. I think that there is some occasions when it's a good time to have had a week off and play a team that has spent most of the week emotionally celebrating the fact that they're going to Wembley. I think the other problem for Wakefield is it's likely that sometime tomorrow that Justin Holbrook will be announced as the fact that he's leaving and going to the Gold Coast. I think that will make Friday an even more emotional occasion for Saints, their fans, their players, and for Holbrook himself. And because of that, and getting to Wembley and wanting to celebrate it with their fans, I've got to go with Saints by 20.
Yeah, I think that'll galvanise them even more. And the fact that it's at the totally wicked stadium, even though they've had a Challenge Cup game, I just can't see Wakefield getting in them. I think Wakefield, good time for them to have a break. But yeah, St Helens by 12.
Well, everyone's signing players, only if Wakefield sign any, because at the moment he's leaving. Mason Caton Brown leaving for business interests. I think he's playing sevens or something, because he was on his Instagram story. He was in Jamaica the other day, so that was a good preparation for coming back, but he's not. No, Saints are going to win. Saints are going to win, aren't they? And they'll win by 18. We'll all go. Congratulations on winning the league leadership. I hope they celebrate more this year.
I think they
a
will.
little bit more.
And I think with Holbrook going, they will as well.
That is Friday night. On Saturday afternoon, live from the south of France, it is the Catalan Dragons, the reigning and defending Challenge Cup winners, well not anymore, as they take on the team who could take over their mantle, the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, Warrington. Well, Phil mentioned earlier a bit of a hangover maybe from St Helens. Warrington, yeah, there could maybe be a bit of hangover from there. They know they're in the 5, aren't they? And they'll keep a close eye on the Wigan Warriors, Hull FC, because they know that Hull FC are just knocking on the door of the second spot. Wigan looking to cement there. So, but Catalans, disappointing. It was at Salford, wasn't it, the last game from there? Very disappointed. So they'll want a bit of reaction from there. It'll be wanting to making sure that getting a bit of consistency to maybe make the 5 for the Dragons. Don't think there'll be much in this, but I just feel as though the Dragons, with a week off, the celebration what Warrington would have been doing, the Dragons, I don't think they'll be buying many. Again, I'll go the Dragons by 7.
I think it was a really tough game for Warrington, physically and mentally. You know, they didn't beat Hull until 2 minutes from time. Needed a hell of a lot of physical effort to do so. Whilst Catalans have been basking in the sun of the south of France, they have to win the Dragons if they're going to make the 5. I think this is the sort of game that they're going to come up against Warrington again, most likely in the playoffs if they make the 5. This is a statement game for them. It's likely to be hot, which again would suit them, and not Warrington, who've got to fly over and can't train at the moment because there's travellers on the pitch that have been earmarked where they were going to train. So everything's against Warrington, and I'll just go with the Dragons, reinvigorating their push for the 5, but not by much, maybe 8.
Yeah, I'm probably going to make the same mistake and expect Catalans to turn up. You just never know. They beat Warrington over there early in the season. They've had their time off. You'd like to think they will perform. Catalans by 4.
I'm going to go for Warrington. I'm not sure why. No, it's Catalans aren't that good anymore, are they? Warrington, and they will beat the Catalan Dragons by 8 points. On Sunday, 2 games, and we'll start in Hull, where the Kingston Rovers take on the Castleford Tigers.
Yes, I'm at this game myself, and the way the both coaches like the both teams to play, this could be a points fest, couldn't it? If it's going to be a bit of a dry day, the sun's out, and these two sides like to throw the ball about a bit, don't they? And down part, looking at the league tables, he'll want to make sure they stay in that top 5. So, the Castleford Tigers will certainly be up for this, but Tony Smith will want a reaction from that performance against Huddersfield, won't it, coming on from there. So, plenty of points. Both teams like to play up and attractive rugby leagues from there. Again, this is like the Huddersfield Leeds game. This could go either way, can't it? And he's getting a reaction from his players. Dow a couple of weeks ago wanted 7 from 7. So far, he's got one of them. This will be pretty tough against OKR. Pressure's on Leeds Rovers. I'm going to give OKR one more chance at this moment in time. I'm going to give them one more chance to produce. The 2 performances, what they did against the Black and Whites and Leeds were outstanding, but rubbish against Wigan and Huddersfield. But I think we'll get a reaction, Tony. I don't think there'll be much in it. I think this could be maybe a 2 or 4 pointer. I'm going to OKR by 4.
I think the way Castleford played in their last game was the nearest they've been this year to the way Darryl wants them to play.
Yeah.
They're getting some key players back as well. It's brilliant for Hull KR that the players that they've got in on loan have come at the beginning of the week, so they'll be more seamlessly integrated by the time match day comes around. I just think they've lost more than they've gained at the moment. Parcell being out, the 3 Warrington lads going back. There may well be another signing for KR during the week on loan, but at the moment I think Darryl has set his sights on, it started last week, we've got to get better. So I'm just going to go pass by 12.
Yeah, I think Hull KR will be much better than they were against Huddersfield, but coming up against Cass at the wrong time. They've won quite a few recently. I've saw them beat Wakey at Bellevue and beat Warrington at the Jungle, and look like they're getting better each week, getting some players back as well. So a bit of momentum about them. I think Castleford by 6.
Yeah, I'm going to side with the Tigers as well. Might put Ollie Holmes on the wing. He was great against Wakefield. Might say something about Wakefield. Castleford to beat the Rovers. This will upset Sid, so that's always a bonus as well. Avocados. And Castleford by 10. Finally, in the capital, London Broncos versus the Salford Red Devils. What happens here?
Salford by 50.
Again,
Negative against Salford.
You look at this fixture and Salford. Well, they could be anyway, can't they? There, but then they can lose to anybody. London as well. Now, London now know that this is their business end of the season, as we know what the top 5 what they think of the business end of the season. This is their business end now. They've done some good business by bringing this halfback over from there, and this will be one game where Danny Moore may have ticked. Yes, this is a possibility. Not now a possibility. This could be a victory from there, and Salford will have to be at their best, and they'll have to be at their best for at least, I would say, 17 minutes to get the 2 points from there. I fancy London for this one. I fancy to turn them over. If they can keep Jackson Hastings pretty quiet, they know what he's like, they know he's the main player. They keep him quiet and win. I'm going for London. I'm going London by 10.
It's another one that I have absolutely no idea which of these 2 teams are going to turn up. I think if it's the Salford team that turns up that was so impressive last time out, they'll win. I think people like Niall Evans love playing on a fast pitch.
Top try scorer in Super League.
Yeah, if they can get the ball to him, and Hastings has shown that he's not going to leave without putting up the best possible fight that he can. Lola here had his best game last time out, and they seem to be getting a little bit of a partnership together. They've got a nice mobile pack, Salford. I think they've got all the ingredients. The trouble is, they can't play from one week to the next with any degree of consistency. I have a feeling you might be right about London, that the signings that they're going to be bringing in, this mini season that they've identified, they don't have to win every game, but they do have to win their games at home because they've got some pretty difficult ones away. provided London start well, because they have this horrible habit of trying to claw games back. You'd fancy them, but I'm just going to go Salford by 2.
They did beat Salford on the Astro at Ealing last year, but basically just to avoid being trolled, yeah, I'm going to tip Salford. No, seriously, it is very unpredictable. I think that's great this season. There's so many games week to week are unpredictable. You know, I think it's the most in recent 6-7 years anyway that I can remember. So I will tip Salford just to appease any people out there. Salford by 8.
You're just hoping Gemma Carter brings some sweets next time in the press box, aren't you?
No, it's just for Paul Bennett. It's just for Paul Bennett.
I'm trying to work out. So, Scott, you've gone for Hull, KR and Huddersfield, haven't you, so far?
Yes. And now London.
So, I mean, when this standalone video comes out on Saturday night, or whenever I tweet it out, and all these results have gone wrong, and I say, does that mean Leeds will be bottom with all your results this week? Because London will be on 18 points.
Can I change him? Can I change him? Oh no!
If, and you're on the top tips for me as well. This is can this could be? Hey?
Oh, is it ever?
I'm going to go Salford by 8. Salford by 8. And that wraps up proceedings. I'd forgotten, because John mentioned this on Saturday at Bolton, but I was a little bit discombobulated trying to find my ICM point. You managed to be trolled by Shayna Baszler, who's actually like a really scary, violent woman.
Thanks to Paul Bennett. Yeah, the Rugby Weekly. Yep.
Because as we know, all foreigners in sport, they all take the drugs, apart from people from your own country.
Yep,
It's never their fault.
So what's that mean when you're being trolled? What's that mean? Somebody pretending to be you?
No. Basically, people just attack you constantly.
I'm trolled a bit.
Yeah, but you deserve it. That's the difference. You bring it on yourself.
He only needs to go to the supermarket in his dressing gown and get trolled.
And women scream and children flee in the street.
Belle Morrison's tomorrow morning.
7 o'clock, don't be late.
You know the weird thing is,
First they'll see me at the petrol station first. So don't be late, I'll be there.
like when we said
I've been kidnapped one week.
like when we said we were going to the chicken cottage in Newcastle, and people turned up. People will turn up at the Belle Morrison.
Yeah, they're Hunswick Morrison's. I'll be there at 7 o'clock in my dressing gown. If you want to donate some petrol, I'll be delighted.
Some petrol.
I'll be delighted.
Got no deal Brexit yet, that's a call. Thanks to Scott, thanks to Phil, thanks to John. We'll be back next week, and I don't know what we'll be doing next week. Talking more about Rugby League.
If Leeds are bottom at league, I'll be crying. I could do that for nothing.
Hi everyone over in the UK. Well, I'm here to tell you that come October this year, I'll be travelling to the UK to do a week-long talking tour. I'll be talking about everything in my life, my rugby league career, how I started, and of course how I finished this year. I'll be travelling to Leeds, St Helens, Hull and Doncaster to do live events. Go to rmsportsevents.co.uk to get all the information. I'll also be playing a couple of games of rugby league against an old foe of mine, Adrian Morley. The events also support Life for a Kid. Can't wait for it. It's going to be great fun. I love the UK. See you in October.